Hey everyone, it's Kat.
And Amber.
We are Wondering Sip. I'm getting better at that, if you have noticed. I think I am. Maybe not. Anyway, this week, y'all, because we come every week with a little bit of something to share with you. And our supers, is that a good? No? Anyway. Supers. We were thinking of what do you call?
Oh, super. She did come up with that.
Those who follow us and who, really come through every week and talk to us, what do you want to be called? I don't know. Wanderers? Wanderers is better.
I love wanderers.
All right. Hey, fellow wanderers.
Hey, y'all.
That's right. Anyway, this week, we'll share with you some good news. I think it's good news.
Yeah.
It's good news for us.
All right.
We were featured in an article by Consumer Reports magazine.
Yep. Shout out Brian Vines, the writer. Y'all hit him up. Check him out.
Right. The name of the article was Vacation Rental Options for LGBTQI Travelers. Of course, which we are one of those. We fall into that category. So we had a great conversation with Brian talking about our experiences traveling as LGBTQI.
Yes.
Around the world, as well as in the U.S. and things like that. And it was good. I had a great experience. The conversation with him basically made us think about things that we don't even think about anymore. It's just part of what we do and how we travel.
Right.
And so we wanted to share a little bit of the article and then some insights on how we travel as LGBTQI card-carrying members. Is that a good word? Card-carrying?
Yeah.
Pay our yearly fees.
We're definitely a member.
Yeah, we pay our yearly fees. I mean, it's like a penny, but we pay that religiously every year. So, in the article, he speaks to a few people, us, and Mr. B&B and Fab, I think it's Fab Stays.
Fab Stays, yeah. These are other online platforms like Airbnb, like VRBO, but they host those who are either LGBTQ friendly, owned, or just LGBTQ period. So these are all ones you can, as an LGBTQ person, you can patronize them, use this for your vacation rental needs, and you know that you're going to be safe and supported and welcome.
Right. And like I said, the article was great. It brought those two to our attention.
Yep.
Mr. B&B and Fab Stays. Yeah, so if you're looking to travel and you wanting to ensure that you're going to be safe, these two sites have verified that they are LGBTQI friendly. I think you should be safe. Yeah. So go for it. Now, with that being said, we want to give a little bit more insight on how we travel and what the conversation with Brian reminded us some of the safeguards that we put into place. And one of the things that we mentioned in the article was Airbnb stays. We do typically use Airbnb as our primary vehicle when we are moving from country to country, city to city, however we're doing it. Mainly because the platform is easy.
Yeah.
The properties are listed. We can go in and take a look, and we can put it in our price range. We can look at the pictures. We can speak to the host. All those things. There are some people who have problems with Airbnb. We've been fortunate we haven't had any problems. One of the things that we do, though, to ensure that we're not going to have any problems at the site, is that my profile on Airbnb, which is mainly the profile that we use, it has a picture of Amber and I. In the title, I state that we are an LGBTQI family. It's me, my wife, and my son. And then when I go to reserve a property, I always send a message, and in that message I state to them who we are, what we're doing, and the number of people traveling. Basically, I say, "Hi, this is Kat or Nandra, and we are requesting this length of time. We are slow traveling through the world. That's me, my wife, and our son, and we hope to stay in your lovely home."
And at that point, if we have put it out there, so if there's any issue with that, we're just not going to get that request, and we're fine with that.
Right.
We prefer it that way.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
We've yet to get or have a property declined with that approach. Of anything, we've kept looking, waiting on a response. Maybe it was like a day later or something like that, or 2 hours later. In that meantime, I sent out another request to another property, and we accepted that one because we got an instant response or something like that. So we've been fortunate in our travels, and that again, we've never had an issue with that particular platform.
Yeah.
We've stayed at hotels. We haven't had any issues with hotels. And I don't know if we're obvious in that regard, but I mean, it's two women and a boy, and we're renting one room in a hotel, 2 beds. I don't know who they're thinking sleeping, but I don't particularly care.
Right.
Because you got my money, I'm gonna get the room, and we're gonna be okay.
Right. And I think usually they don't care either. Well, hotels in general. I mean, I'm speaking to hotels. I mean, they're not getting information from you to that detail like Airbnb does. So I think they just want you in and out.
I think it depends.
Your money.
I think it depends on the country. I think you have to look at the reviews for hotels, just like you have to look at the reviews for Airbnb.
That's true.
I tend to look at not only the reviews, I look at the profile of the person who reviewed to see if there's any hint that they may possibly be a card-carrying member as well. And some of them leave little hint, little teasers. You just gotta look for them. And that's what I look for. So if I go to a property and there's 200 reviews, I probably, honestly, am going to look at 50 of them. Just to make sure that I'm not missing something. I'm not looking at all the 5-star reviews. I'm looking at the 3 stars, the 2 stars, because a lot of those 2 stars are really telling the truth. Now, they may complain a little bit too much about some things that are just out of your control, but they may hint at something that you just missed. Or the people who had the 5 stars didn't particularly care about, but I may care about. We may care about. And those are the safety guards that we look at in reviews. Now,
that's true. Speaking to that, we rarely go with an Airbnb that has no reviews. And it could be brand new, and that may be it too. It could just be brand new. There's no reviews yet. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we normally look at the number of reviews.
Right.
So.
And if there's no reviews for the property, then we go and look at the host. If the host has a multitude of properties, then I go and look at those properties and check out the reviews for that property. So there's a lot of work that goes into moving from city to city, country to country, and staying in an Airbnb. And again, we were slow traveling, so we were doing 2 to 3 months in each city and each location. So, and sometimes in that city, we moved to different property just to check out the other side of town or something like that. And we did do, I think, one that didn't have reviews, maybe one.
Yeah, and I can't recall how that turned out.
I don't think we liked it that And so that we went back on that rule where we do that now. We look for reviews.
Yeah.
I think I might have been in Greece. Actually, we ended up getting another property. That's what happened. I think maybe that was what it was. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, reviews.
Right. And not only do we, when it comes to housing, there's things that we look for. We have definitely been in countries that are not LGBTQ friendly, and it's on the books that it's not LGBTQ friendly, and we still took that chance and went to that country. But again, when we rent it, the information is there. So it's up to the owner to say no, the landlord, whoever's renting the property, and we're more than comfortable with that. That is not a problem for us. We'd rather you decline us at the beginning instead of getting there. You have our money, and we've made plans to stay in your home, and there's an issue.
Right. And I mean, and speaking to that too, as far as sharing that information up front, in areas where we feel like we may not be supported as far as legislation goes in a country, we usually, we may or may not in those instances choose to maybe tone down on things like PDA and stuff like that in public, only for safety reasons. And usually in those situations, at least what's been the case for us, is that PDA is not like a big thing culturally in those places anyway. Right. So you kind of have to, when you're in a different country, you do have to read the room. I mean, if culturally there's certain things that are just not done in general, or for the population as a whole, then you want to think about that before you just start doing it.
Right. Every place is not a vacation for your honeymoon, right? And then if you're on honeymoon, you want to be out, you want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be the country for you. Go somewhere where honeymooning couples and PDA is common, accepted. Right. Nobody blinks an eye. Just don't go, to other countries where it's just not common.
Right.
Even for honeymooners, it's just not the thing to do. Mm-hmm. And it's hot. Everywhere we've been, it's been hot. I don't even want to hold nobody's hand. I don't want to hold my own hand. I'm sweating. I just want to get to where we got to get to. Hopefully there's some air conditioning there, and then I can move on with my day.
This is
that's been our it ain't even been an option. I'm like, girl, it's hot. Move.
Right. I know.
Give me a foot of space around me. I need some air circulating.
That's true.
Around me.
I know the child will try to walk close to me, and I'm just like, you can't do that. Right. I'm sorry, I love you. I'm gonna love you when we get back to the room.
Right. Where's air conditioning? Air conditioning is your friend. But anyway, those are the things we think about, and those are just minor tips, I think, or smaller tips in the grand scheme of things. There's so many things that we look at. Like I said, we do research. We have great conversations back and forth on what we think life will be like there for us. Is that going to fit what we're looking for? Is that something we want to do? But we're very upfront, as we mentioned, and some people are not. Some people err on the other side. We also do not rent rooms in an abode. We typically rent the entire property.
Right.
We don't do one where the landlord's living on site.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't want to see you. I don't want you to see me. I want to live my life and live your best life as well. So those are a few other little tips to throw in there.
That's true. Some people like that. Some people feel more that they're going to get more attention that way, or better service, and that's fine. But yeah, for us, it's just not. It's not.
I don't want it. I don't want to see you. I don't mind if you have staff on site. That's totally different. I just don't want to see the landlord knocking on my door or what as I'm walking down the hallway. It's a little. I don't know. Yeah. Just me. I don't want to do it in the States. I definitely don't want to do it while traveling. And I don't want to see staff every day, all day either. So we typically rent apartments.
Yeah.
And it's worked out, or homes. It's worked out fine for us. So think about that as well. Yeah. Now we do, of course, write about what we do and how we see the world and what we've experienced on our blog, wanderingsoup.com. Here's a quick screenshot of that, and you can see a little bit of the things that we've touched on, and those are just the specific LGBTQI blogs, but there are in other blogs that I've written, I'm always mentioning things that may affect you if you're an LGBTQI traveler, and they may not, and that's fine. But these are just some of the tips and things that we think about as we're traveling this wonderful world abroad.
Yeah, and it's so we can enjoy ourselves, and so we can, get the most out of the experience. And so safety is part of that. Being comfortable is part of that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's better to be prepared. It's better to do the research so that you can be free and have those and really experience where you're going.
Right, and enjoy yourself. I mean, that's the whole point of traveling, is to see other cultures, explore yourself as well, but you want to do that in safety. Mm-hmm. And so read the blogs, check out the videos, do your research, look at the reviews for anywhere you want to go, talk to the owner, be upfront. That's my tip. Some people say don't. That's not my thing. It's just not how we travel. And we introduce ourselves to people. If they want to meet us, if the landlord wants to meet us, give us a key. I am Anandra. This is my wife Amber. This is our son Quasi. And I think that's a level of respect given to them as well as they give it to us, because we're in your home.
That's true.
That's an issue for them as well. You're in their home around all their stuff, and we do fully furnished homes. So hey, is you gonna break my stuff? You gonna steal? I get it. Right. So there's give and take on both sides.
That's true.
There are Airbnb horror stories, there's VRB horror stories, there's flip key horror stories, hotel horror stories. We've been fortunate. We have not had any horror stories.
And with that, that's another great thing. The article that I didn't really know that the article mentions is that all those different platforms, Airbnb, VRBO, and Flipkey, all have means by which you can report if you do have an issue, which we haven't. But if you have an issue where you're staying, you can report discrimination, You can report any kind of, if you feel unsafe or you feel like where you are, you're being discriminated against. Each of them have means to do that. So that's awesome. Another reason to read the article, but it's good to know.
Right. And this is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Is to share our experiences for those who are wondering if it's going to be okay for them to travel, if it's going to be safe, and should they travel? Should they go to this particular country? We are obviously Black women who are LGBTQ. We are married. We fit a lot of boxes. We check off a lot of things for a lot of people who are wondering, is it okay? And they see us and they go, hey, it just might be. But again, there's some things you gotta do to make sure that it is for you. If you're traveling solo, you definitely gotta, there may be a few other things that you may think about,
Absolutely.
Do it. Put the research in. Do everything you can to ensure your safety. Don't be one of the horror stories if you can get away with it,
Yeah.
And again, that's why we do what we do.
Yes, that's why we're here. Wanderers.
That's right. Wanderers. I guess it is better than supers.
Yes.
Right. So check out our other videos, y'all. We've got a whole slew of them on living in Merida, living in Vietnam. We had someone, we didn't put anything of the Cambodian ones up there. We should probably do that one day. Put up some more Cambodians. We lived with Cambodia like 8 months. A lot of videos from Cambodia. This is what we do, and we wanted to share it with you. Check out the article and go to our blog, wonderingsick.com. Check it out. A slew of articles. I think I got over 200 blog articles on there, just covering all kinds of things, even some rambling thoughts. Got a little bit of everything. Packing tips, best suitcases to buy, where to travel, all of those things. I am Kat.
And Amber.
We'll see you on the next video, y'all. Peace and love.